Hello, 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 hello. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Melanated Thought. I am Reggie O.
And I'm Mimi the lady.
Yes, indeed. She is definitely a lady, y'all. So, yeah, we got a pretty good show today, y'all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, today we're going to talk about politics.
In the black culture.
Yes, indeed. How we affect politics and how politics affects us. You know, that's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
because it's going to be a good, especially since we got an election coming up. That's going to be a really, really touchy subject that a lot of people are going to want to get into. So, definitely. And, yeah, it's going to be a good one. Let's have a good show today.
Yes.
And for those of you who are just now subscribing and just now getting into this whole Melanated Thought thing, we would love it if you would hit that like button and subscribe to our channel.
Yes.
Yeah, we love people. We love people.
Yes, we do.
So that's that. And as usual, before we start the show, I always come up with a book that black people should read at least once in a lifetime. And today I got a really good one, written by one of our prestigious black leaders, my man Stokely Carmichael, aka Kwame Ture. Yeah, it's a good one. It's called Black Power. Basically, that book is about politics. Believe it or not, it's about politics. A lot of people don't understand that about that book. It's actually about politics. I mean, forget what the name says. It's actually about politics and how we affect politics as a whole in the black community. Written by Stokely Carmichael, aka Kwame Ture. And I think the co-author's name is Charles Hamilton. I think that's his name. Let me look that up real quick. I don't want to tell nobody no lies. You know.
Well, now that when you looked it up, I'm going to go ahead and mention this. I don't know if you know it or not, but there's a new movie out about Stokely that's going to be played starting, I think it's going to be like the second week in September.
Really? Wow.
So that was a good segue.
Cool. I didn't know that, man.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I saw it on the news. It's going to be either, I think they're trying to decide, since we still dealing with the COVID and social distancing and everything.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're going to do it like on Netflix or one of the other streaming apps.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's about his life story. Yeah.
It's definitely a look. That's definitely worth a look because you know I'm all about stuff like that.
Definitely.
So yeah, but let me look this up real quick, y'all. Kwame Ture.
Because wasn't he like, he didn't start the Black Panther, but he was like
one
of the major players.
He was part of what they called what did he call it? The Student Nonviolent Coalition, something like that. I think that was it. Him and another one of my heroes, H. Rap Brown. They were part of that. H. Rap Brown, for those of you who don't know, he's in prison right now for killing a police officer, but they don't know if he actually did it or not. But because because H. Rap Brown was H. Rap Brown and what he stood for, he's in prison right now.
Okay.
He doesn't go by H. Rap Brown anymore. He has a Muslim name because he converted completely to Islam.
Wow,
and I can't remember what his name is right now. So,
okay.
But H Rap, I'm sorry, brother. I just can't remember your name. That's the only reason why I say H Rap. But yeah, the brother, I love the dude, man. He needs to get out of prison.
He hadn't written any books or anything since he has? Okay.
Yeah, I actually have his book.
Okay.
It's called Die Nigga Die.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a really good read, but that's another book.
It's about black.
It's basically his life story and a few other things too.
Okay.
So that's a good one too, but we'll talk about that book a little bit later on.
Okay.
So, but let me look at something real quick on Stokely Carmichael. Hold on, y'all. So bear with me. How's your day, babe?
It's been pretty good. We have some big news and current events. I can't wait to start talking about
them. Oh my
them.
God, yes. We got a lot to talk about, which one of the current events ties into what we're talking about today.
Absolutely. The major one. Yeah, definitely, man. So yeah, definitely. So it's going to be a good show, y'all. And I have... And thanks to my niece, let's go ahead and get this out here. Thanks to my niece, she has drugged me out of semi-retirement and getting back into the music game, ladies and gentlemen. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah,
Dr. Dre.
Hello.
We're gonna be Dr. Reggio.
Hey man, it is what it is. But that's just another feather in my cap. But she, of course, last week she gave me a call and asked me and asked Uncle Reggie to do us some beats, and I told her I would. So I had to,
got that old drum machine.
Had to get the drum machine back out, and start doing my thing, on the music tip of the thing. For those of you, some of y'all know who I am. For those of you that don't know who I am, I'm really, really heavy into hip hop music. This one right here knows that already.
Absolutely.
So she's heard my mother talk about it. She's heard me talk about it. So I'm a really big hip hop head, and I always have been. But I guess I'll be a hip hop head until I die, man. But that's just me.
That's all right.
It's all right. It's all right. It is all right. You know what? I'm not gonna look at the book. But anyway, that's the name of the book, y'all. It's called Black Power. Written by Stokely Carmichael and co-authored by Charles Hamilton. Good book, definitely worth the read. I have it in my library, and like I said, I would not suggest a book to anybody if I haven't read it myself.
Right.
So yes, definitely get that one, people.
Pick that up, people.
Definitely pick that up. You can go to
download it.
You can go to you can definitely go to the Pan African Connection, which is shameless plug. I love that spot. I haven't been there in a while, but I definitely have to go back because I haven't seen those people in a cool minute. They probably think I'm about on the left or something.
Yeah, they probably think, what happened to him?
Yeah, exactly. So but I used to go there on a regular basis, but I definitely need to go back. But anyway. Wow, let's talk about some current events.
Okay,
what we got?
Let's start it light, and then we move on to the big players, the big boys.
Oh yeah.
Let's just start with, I want to get your take on, now that some sports has begun to open back up, what are your thoughts on kneeling and the Black Lives Movement? Is it racial diversity or racial justice? For example, right now I'm looking at a lot of basketball because I'm a basketball junkie, and they have like the Black Lives Matter, say her name, equal justice written on the back of their jerseys. So what's your thoughts on that, Mr. O?
I think it's a good idea. I think it's been a long time coming. I'm really, really impressed that a lot of these professional athletes are actually using their platform to take a stance on certain things. Because we haven't had anything like that since Muhammad Ali. Another one of my heroes, y'all. That was the one. That was a good thing. I mean, Colin Kaepernick started this off by taking the knee during the national anthem. And people lost their ever-loving minds because of it.
Yes, they did.
So
even the president.
Oh yeah, include the president. He calling people SOBs and everything, man. Come on. He's supposed to be a president. He's cussing people out and calling them out of their names, man. That's not cool. But
them to get fired, that the owner should fire them.
Yeah, doing all kinds of things, man.
But I must admit also, during this movement now, there has been some players that has not kneeled.
Yeah.
So you think that's just their prerogative, or do they not want to engage in the black movement? What do you think?
Well, I know that one player, when it comes to the kneeling thing, he said he's not going to kneel. And the reason why he said he's not going to kneel, the reason why he's not kneeling is because of the fact that he's not what I would call a foundational black American. He's Puerto Rican.
Okay. Now, is this basketball or baseball?
This is basketball.
It is?
This is basketball.
Okay.
He said he's not going to kneel because his mother came from Puerto Rico and pulled herself up by bootstraps, the whole spiel, and said that American black people have the same opportunities that she had, which is a lie. And he said he's not going to kneel.
So would that fall under the umbrella of racial diversity?
Nah, that would fall under him not being a foundational black American and not knowing the struggle. That's all that is.
That's a thought.
Yeah, so he doesn't know the struggle.
Yeah.
If you're not a part of this black culture here in the United States, you will never ever know what we go through on a regular basis. Right. So with that being said, brother, more power to you.
Amen. Moving on.
Okay.
The next current topic I'd like to speak about is how refusing to wear a mask, is it becoming the fear of many Americans?
Wow.
Like when you walk into a store
and
you don't see someone, you be like, or do you give them like a funny look or make a gesture so they can know, where's your mask?
Well, let me just say this real quick, and I told you about this earlier. I was at a store, a t-shirt shop, as a matter of fact. You remember me telling you about that? About the lady coming in, without the mask on, big and bold as shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But then I asked you, though, is that white privilege, or is that just a senior citizen moment? Maybe she had a moment, she just forgot.
No, I don't think she forgot. Because she saw everybody else in that store with masks on.
She kept walking.
And she kept on walking. And she walked
But
right
normally
on
they
in.
stop you at the door. That's why I wonder
Oh,
why
no, they didn't stop her at all.
her.
They didn't stop her at all. She came in there like she owned the place, came in there and made her purchase and walked right on out.
Really?
I'm telling you what I know.
I know
I
she
was
probably
right
got
there.
all kind of looks.
Oh, yeah. People looking at her like who the hell is this?
Right.
So, yeah, she got all kinds of looks, man.
Wow.
Well, and with that said, that right there, man, that is mostly, in my personal opinion, and if I'm wrong, then I'm just wrong. I don't know everything. I never said that I did. That is a classic case of white privilege.
White privilege.
That's just my personal opinion. If I'm wrong, then so be it. I do one better. If I'm wrong, I challenge anybody to prove me where I am wrong at. That's my deal.
Yeah.
So,
because I was just thinking out loud myself. Normally, when you go out, you'll see us, the black culture, being a little bit hard-headed.
Yeah.
I don't see that now.
of course not.
We are masked up.
Man, come on. We ain't playing. Well, see, think of it as we know that following the rules is number one in our book. Because if we don't follow the rules, guess what's going to happen to us? Something bad.
Especially financially, giving you fines.
Oh my God, yeah, they're giving you fines and everything, man. So it's not a good idea to do all that. And I should be recording this. And I ain't even recording it, man. We said all that, and I haven't recording it. That's on me, y'all. I'm sorry about that.
But I must admit too, I've been looking, like I always say every week, I love me some CNN.
Yeah.
And they have been showing a lot of these Hollywood parties.
Yeah.
With a lot of the young millenniums partying up, pool parties, house parties.
Yeah.
No mask, 700 deep, no mask. And the other day I saw one where it was up in one of the black executives' house. That's why I was a little
Really?
curious. I'm like,
Wow.
because mostly, some of us is a little leery, and I guess some of us just live life to the fullest. But it was a lot of people there, and not a single one had on a mask. And that's why I was a little like, well, I guess some of us get it and some of us don't. But I have noticed a lot of the younger people are, I don't know if they're not taking it seriously, or are they listening to the president saying that if they do get it, they're not going to have it a long time, or that they're not going to be affected much as an older person. But it is something to think about. Is there like a fear amongst just the older generation, or is it a fear amongst all Americans?
I think that this whole thing, once it blows over, and it will blow over.
You think so? Because it's going on, 6 months?
Yeah.
It's half a year.
Well, think about this though. During President Obama's terms, he served 2 terms as president.
Absolutely.
We had Ebola.
That only killed 2 people. In the whole world.
In the whole entire world.
Yes, sir.
Had a few cases in the United States, but they were nipped in the bud quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Quickly.
We had H1N1. We had a couple other things I can't remember right now.
That was deadly.
That were deadly.
But not through a mass destruction of this many lives.
But check this out, though. I'm going to do you one better. We even had that flesh-eating bacteria. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. What was it called? Yeah.
I forgot what it was called, but it was a flesh-eating bacteria.
Yeah, because you were scared for anybody to touch
Man, you didn't want nobody touching you or nothing.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah,
that
I forgot
got
about
nipped
that.
in the bud.
Yeah, it did. He got that. He got the WHO on that.
Exactly.
The World Health Organization and the CDC. Oh yeah, they took care of all of that quick, fast, and hairy. That's why I don't understand how old Sister Rona is hanging around so long. I don't.
Well,
I don't
it's
know.
like I tell people all the time, man. We have an idiot for a president. I'm just being honest. I'm gonna call it what it is, y'all. I'm gonna call it what it is. We have an idiot for a president. That's all there is to it. So, because he was warned ahead of time that this was going to happen by none other than who?
Obama.
And what did he do about it?
Just laughed at it because he don't care what Obama. Anything Obama put into place, he scratched.
Yeah, everything.
He vetoed and he scratched. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he was warned.
Yeah, he was definitely warned, man. So,
but what about that old adage that people talking about? I don't know how true this is, but I'm just going to say it because I'm thinking it. Too many people in the world, so they got to find some way to kind of even out the playing field?
Well, I'm glad you said that. Bill Gates has been a big advocate of what's called culling, and that's spelled Culling.
Culling. Okay.
When you call an organization or call a people, who the heck is this? Anyway, whenever you got people, let me go back to dog breeding. Okay, I used to, for those of you who don't know, I used to breed American Pit Bull Terriers. Okay.
I love Chihuahuas.
She likes Chihuahuas. I like dogs. Okay.
That is a dog. They're so cute. Okay, go ahead with your story.
Okay. With that said, I used to raise American Pit Bull Terriers, and what a lot of people used to do when it came to if they had too many dogs inside a litter, they would cull the litter. In other words, they would kill them.
Would they drown them or something like that?
They would drown them, do whatever. They would drown them, hit them in the head with a rock, whatever.
Oh.
Really, I'm telling you what I know. So,
why you just didn't take them out to the country and let them go or something? Or take them to the pound? You can't take them to the pound?
I'm sure you can, but the thing in Oklahoma, since they have those breed restriction laws in place, it's kind of hard to adopt out a pit bull.
Well, yeah, they're considered like a dangerous animal.
Yeah, it's considered a dangerous
breed.
Yeah, it's considered a dangerous breed.
Yeah.
So, with that being said,
and so you trying to say that they did that with people, colony?
Bill Gates was a big advocate of. Hold on, let me text Mom real quick, let her know I'm on the air.
Okay.
That's who it was trying to call me. Bill Gates is a big advocate of culling people. He said there's too many people on Earth. So he said the best way to do it, and he was mainly talking about black people. He said the best way to do it is to take some of those people out. And so that's why I tell people all the time that I would be leery of Bill Gates coming to me with a vaccine saying you need to take this. Because,
Well, now, from my understanding, I know we had a conversation with one of our friends that's in the health field, and she was saying he has gotten out of the computer field and into the health field.
Yeah, he has.
So do you think he's going to put all his money behind all these drugs? They feel like if Bill Gates is putting his money behind it, it might be a good drug to take, but how you know it's not one of those drugs that's a slow killer?
Exactly. So, like I said, be leery of that. I mean, it's kind of like a Trojan horse. You got to be leery of that. Beware of Greeks bearing gifts. And in this case, beware of geeks bearing gifts.
Oh, nice.
So, and hey, I ain't talking bad about geeks. I'm a geek myself. Ask her. So
how long ago did he say that? I haven't ever heard that.
He's always been a part of that. I mean, if you look at his family history goes back to Nazi Germany. See, a lot of people don't realize that about Mr. Bill Gates. So anything that I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, don't take my word for it. You can look this up for yourself. It's out there. If I found it out, anybody can find it out.
Right.
So by all means, check this stuff out. Wow. So I'm not just selling wolf tickets here. So, anyway.
Well, it's kind of funny how Miss Rona came about when he started doing more of the in the healthcare field. So, wow, unbelievable.
Hold on, wait a minute. We got some double talking here. I'm online. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me get this thing taken care of. Wow. Hold up. Let me kill this out. Hold on.
Well, I'm gonna read the next current event.
Go ahead.
So we can be
There we go.
Keep the flow going here.
Yeah.
So my next topic is, you and I experienced this yesterday, matter of fact.
Okay.
More black Americans are purchasing firearms after the racial tension and protests of the George Floyd senseless killing, which has triggered fear for their own safety.
Okay.
And they feel like they need to be protected when they leave their home.
Right.
And a lot of black Americans are going to the gun ranges, taking the practices, going to gun shows like we did yesterday.
Yep.
Purchasing firearms to be a licensed carrier.
Right.
What are your thoughts?
I'm all for it. I'm a big advocate of self-defense because God forbid, if I'm out and about, you're at home alone, I don't want nothing happening to you.
Yeah.
So that's the main reason why we went to that gun show, to see what they had out there. And I got a pretty good idea about what to get.
And I must admit, like I said, I've been to one, but I never really just looked at it, because I always been one of the ones, I don't want to live with a gun. What if somebody get it and they find it before me, blah, 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 blah. But after talking to several people yesterday, I talked to a young lady yesterday as well, not just men. And I'm beginning to believe I need to go into the gun range and get licensed. So we can all be, I might get to it before you get to it, and I might can protect you. More
exactly.
Or less,
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just about me protecting you. I mean, because as a man, that's my job.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, but if for whatever reason I can't get to it before you do, get to it.
But would you take it with you in the public, like if you're going to work or if you're going to Walmart or?
Some people do.
Yeah.
Some people do. There's a lot of people out there, since most states now are getting to the point to where they are open carry. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are doing that, actually.
Would you be one? That's what I'm asking. Would you be one
Would
of those
I do
people?
it? Yeah, if I had to.
Really?
No doubt about it. Which is another reason why I want to go to that gun show.
Wow.
Because of the fact that, with open carry, let's say that you and your sister are out and about. Mm-hmm. Somebody tries to rob y'all. Mm-hmm. Let that lead fly, baby.
No doubt.
I'm just saying, let that lead fly. Let that lead fly, and don't let it stop until you hit your target and until that target falls down.
Because I kept saying, I just want a cute little pink one, enough to get them off of me. And one of the young ladies always thought, she said, no, baby, you need to get them. Get them before they get you.
Exactly. That's my whole point.
I was like, okay, then I guess he'll give me a big mama. Give me a big mama gun.
There you go. Yeah, she walk around with a big dirty Harry gun bigger than she is.
Like, hold on, let me get my anchor and put it up. But yeah.
Exactly. Right.
I think we are living in a little fear, because people if you find yourself in a situation where you feel defensive, of course you want to protect yourself and defend yourself.
Yeah.
And I guess the next thing to do is to pull your firearm.
There you go. Yeah. Pull that, as Corey Hogan would say, pull out that goddamn it.
Not the goddamn it.
Yeah. That's what you do.
Yeah.
That's what you do. But yeah, I'm all for that, man. I think I'm all for self-defense anyway, being a martial artist. Mm-hmm. So definitely, I'm all for self-defense. That's 100% one of my things that I definitely advocate, especially for women.
Yeah.
If you're a woman, period, not just a single woman, but if you're a woman, period, you need to learn how to take care of yourself in that way.
Well, yeah, I know they used to do those classes for women.
I used to teach a self-defense class.
Yeah. So we should be covered on both sides. Do self-defense and maybe carry.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
You might want to get that back up, and maybe we can get some classes started, because I know I know how to a little bit, but not how. I know they said there are some pressure points.
Yes.
And I don't know all that. Mm-hmm. So if I knew that, maybe there'll be a,
Yeah, pressure points and all that good stuff. There's, certain focal points that you can throw somebody off of you, or certain nerve pinches that you can do, that you can use to get somebody off of you, nerve strikes that you can use to get people off of you.
Right.
So yeah, I'm definitely going to consider doing that, because I've been thinking about. Well, I told you that a while back. I've been thinking about starting up another class and whatnot. So that would definitely be on my. That's definitely on my radar.
Absolutely.
That's definitely on my radar. So
Yeah, I think we should all do that as women in general. Because, it's just not men attacking women. Women are attacking women. We're all just attacking each other these days.
Yeah. Because
you always want to be,
It's a sign of the times that we're in. Yeah. Basically, as much as I hate to say it's the truth, it's a sign of the times that we're in. Mm-hmm. So definitely, ladies and gentlemen, get your
protected.
My brothers and sisters, man, get your gun game up legally.
Yes, legally.
Get your gun game up so we can protect each other and protect ourselves, and our children, man. Especially got young ones, man. Definitely.
Absolutely.
What else you got, baby?
Well, here's the latest one, the Big Mama.
Okay.
That's going to tie in with our topic of today.
Okay.
Presidential candidate Joe Biden has selected Kamala Harris.
Yeah, everybody all was warm and fuzzy about that.
As his 2020 running mate for presidential ticket. Miss Harris is the second black woman and the first Indian woman to ever run for a prestigious office. What's your thoughts?
Well, I think that people need to let's not get all emotional about it, because that's the one thing that black people do when we see somebody that looks like us in a position to do something of that caliber. We fell for the okie doke twice with Obama. Now everybody's up getting all warm and fuzzy about Kamala Harris being vice president, which just look at her record, people. Look at her record. Don't just say it's a good thing just because the woman is black, because she's not a foundational black American. Her daddy is Jamaican, and her mother's Indian. So and I can tell you right now from experience, man, the Indian people, a lot of them do not. I repeat, do not like black people. If you look at India right now, they treat black people like crap.
And we buy mostly their hair. I'm just had to do a little kick note there. Sorry, but I mean it's true though.
It's the truth. Though.
I read this story and saw this podcast about how much money we spend on hair. Oh my God,
that right there
is crazy.
And I'm glad you mentioned that. that because that's going to be the subject of our next show, financial literacy.
Nice. Yes.
Financial literacy. So tune in.
Well, let me say this to piggyback off what you said. After I heard that he selected her, even though that wasn't my choice, but I'm gonna keep my choice to myself. A lot of black women were excited.
Yeah, they still are.
Yeah,
they still are.
Well, they are. They are excited. Yeah.
Yeah, they still are. I mean, and I'm not gonna say that they shouldn't be excited, but like I said, research her record.
I did. That's why
research her record.
She wasn't my first choice.
Exactly my
point. As a black woman.
Well, see, like I said, you did the research, so you know what's up.
Yeah.
And that's what I want people to do. Do the research. This is not a good look for us, because I'm going to tell you right now, we already know that Jim Crow Joe isn't going to do nothing for black people. We know that for a fact. And
try to get I saw him try to give one man the handshake. I guess it's like the black handshake. He messed it up.
He messed it up, didn't he?
I'm like, oh my God.
Dude,
just do a normal handshake.
Just shake my hand. Man. But
pat on the back.
Exactly, anything, man. But we already know Jim Crow Joe's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
And Kamala Harris, when she was trying to get on the Democratic ticket, she said flat out, she's not going to do anything strictly for black people, because if she did, she got to do something for everybody else too.
Right. She's going to try to make it equal across the board.
Nah. It's not equal across the board.
That's not why you've been elected to office.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why she didn't get that nod from black people, because she has no connection with black people. Everybody keeps on bringing up the fact that that she pledged Alpha Kappa Alpha.
Okay.
Well, let me throw a
Delta's
little.
Better.
Hey man, let me throw a little wrinkle in there. She pledged Alpha
My
Kappa.
My opinion, Delta's better. Go ahead.
Hey man, ain't nothing wrong with the Delta. But anyway, she pledged Alpha Kappa Alpha. Do you know how many?
Well, she went to a black school.
She went to a HBCU.
HBCU, yes.
Do you know how many white people go to HBCU?
Absolutely.
That's number one.
Yeah.
And number two, do you know how many white AKAs there are?
Oh yeah.
Come on now. So what does that mean? That means nothing.
Yeah.
So.
You're right.
I'm not impressed by that.
Yeah.
That
it's like I say, I did my research, and like I said, I admire her, no pun intended, her hustle.
Yeah.
To get into Congress as fast as she did.
Right.
I think she's just like 53, 54 years old.
Yeah.
And she's a sitting congresswoman.
Yeah.
Most of them are like in her 60s and 70s. You know, so she got in there, and I admire that. But some of her stance and some of her laws that she's passed and she's been a part of rectifying or get into office,
right.
I just can't.
You can't feel it.
No.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, you did your research.
These are my opinions, people. This is Mimi's opinion. This is just how I feel.
Hey, you did your research, which is what you're supposed to do. And like I said, research Kamala Harris. Don't just say, hey, okay, this is a good thing for black people. No, it's not. Because it's going to blow up in our faces. Watch what I tell you, people. Don't just take my word for it. Do your research on her record.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Well, let's go ahead and say, Agent Orange had an opinion about that
Of course
nominee.
he did. Of course he did.
And Trump's response was that men are insulted by this choice. And he kept calling her all kind of derogatory names, like she's mean, she's a mean lady, she has a nasty disposition. But kind of find out, when she was running for presidential nominee, he donated $6,000 to her cause. To her campaign.
Really?
His daughter donated $10,000 to his. I'm thinking, so is she next? Why are you giving money to her campaign? So it's like, I don't know. This man is all over the place with his who he likes, who he don't like. But now he's bringing up her kind of the same thing that he did with Obama about where she was born.
Yeah.
And then she even had the legit approval to run for VP.
Yeah.
What do they call her, Bertha, that he's talking about?
Yeah.
This man do everything to try to keep people out of office, right?
This dude, you know what?
I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy.
There's so much to say about Donald Trump.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna leave that alone because we'll get on to him on another show. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a whole other show by itself.
Look at the whole show to his.
Exactly, and that's what I was getting ready to say. That's a whole other show by itself.
Yes,
so
sir.
Talking about him.
Call it the Agent Orange Show.
There you go. That's a good title. That's a good title. I like that.
Well, yeah, okay. So now let's get into what we're speaking of today.
All
our
right.
topic.
Okay, let's get into it. What you got?
Well, I just want to read this brief summary about African Americans in the political party. I did not know that after the Civil War, majority of the blacks were Republicans. Did you know that?
Yeah. Yeah, and the reason why they were is because you have to understand something. President Lincoln was a Republican.
That's what it says, after the party of President Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, because Lincoln was the one that signed the Emancipation Proclamation. Oh, did I say that?
Did you say that out loud?
Did I say that out loud? Oh, man.
Slap
my hand.
Time out for
bad
you.
Bad Reggie. But yeah, he signed the Emancipation Proclamation to help free the slaves.
Right.
And
I guess that kind of go back to what we was talking about last week, how most slaves had to follow what their masters was doing.
Exactly.
And I guess at that time, majority of them were Republican.
Well, some of them were. Well, most at that time, you have to understand something. During that time, the Democrats and Republicans were the reverse of what they are now. Okay, they didn't start. That didn't change until like after World War I.
Correct. That's what
so,
my notes.
With that being said, with all that going on, the Republicans at that time were more liberal as opposed to being conservative like they are now.
Correct.
And
it's like the roles reversed or something.
Yeah. The Republicans were liberal, and the Democrats were the Democrats were the real heavy slave owners. They were the ones that didn't want to free the slaves. They're the ones that were completely 100% against it.
Correct.
So, and they were more conservative than anything.
Correct.
And just like back then, and just like now, just like the Republicans of now, most of the Democrats back then were old, rich white men.
Correct.
So
when did the switch flip? Switch flip. How you say it?
I know what you're talking about.
When did that happen?
Right after, not too long after World War I.
Really?
Yeah, somewhere along in there. Not
so
too long after that.
I guess when the times when more slaves was going up north and becoming free, you think? I'm thinking that's what I read.
Yeah, kind of sort of. It wasn't a 100% split until after the fact.
Right.
You know, that's when the Democrats took a more liberal stance and the Republicans took a more conservative stance on certain things. So somewhere along in that area, that's when that started happening. And when that happened, more black people started going towards the Democrat.
Correct.
The Democratic Party.
Correct.
Now, there were a few black people, a lot of people don't know this, so there were a few very well-to-do black people that were considering starting their own political party.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
They were considering it.
You by chance have a name?
The name escapes me right now.
But I never knew that.
If I made no mistake, I think W.E.B. Du Bois and Ida B. Wells were two of the people that were trying to get that started.
And there are two like big time abolitionists, aren't they? Well, were they?
Well, that's way after abolition. Just way after.
I wonder what that could have been called.
I don't recall, but they were talking about it. I don't think they had a name for it at the moment.
Just the thought of it.
Just a mere thought of it. They were talking about starting their own political party.
Let's see, Republicans, Democratic, and
it could have been anything, man. It could have been, the Black Liberation Movement. You don't know. We don't know. But yeah, they were talking about doing that, and that's been on the table for a very long time. To be completely honest with you, for black people to start their own party.
Really?
Yeah, that's been on the table.
Yeah, I guess so. 'Cause that's why a lot of people think people like Oprah should run and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So so with that said, there was a lot of people like Elijah Muhammad was trying to get something like that, something similar to that going.
Whoa.
So, but.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a lot of folks doing that. So that's the main reason why Elijah Muhammad spoke separation. That's the reason why. So that way we control the politics in our own sovereign nation, kind of like the Native American people do. Because the Native American people, they're their own sovereign nation inside of a nation. So that's the main thing that Elijah Muhammad was preaching. We want a sovereign nation inside of a nation, just like the Native American people. That's what we want. Give us what's due to us. So that way we can control the politics in our own communities.
Do you think that's possible now?
It's definitely possible. You got to think about this, man. Foundational Black American people, we are some of the most resourceful people on the planet. Think about this. Now, this is a whole other subject, but let's go with music for a minute. Hip-hop music.
Of course.
Started from nothing. 2 turntables, a microphone, and a rapper. That's it.
Or a beatboxing in the hallway.
Came later. Yes, beatboxing came later. Banging on the tables, banging on the table. I remember many days in the lunchroom, they bang on the table, and I grab the microphone and start spitting. So, but like I said, they started from nothing. They started that from nothing. And Black people as a whole, we can take nothing and create something out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, I'll give you another prime example. In Tulsa, Oklahoma, what they call Black Wall Street, on the corner of Greenwood, Asher, and Pine. That whole block, there was nothing there. Within a few years, it became one of the most prestigious Black neighborhoods in the United States.
Wow.
Started from nothing. So yes, it can definitely work.
But then they got too progressive and they got burned down, right?
Well, no, they didn't get too progressive. It's just that white people got jealous of the shit that they had.
You think it was jealousy?
That's all it was.
Wow.
That's all it was. I mean, you got to think about this. They had their own hospitals.
Yeah.
They had their own
banks.
Banks. Yeah. They had their own schools. Their own colleges.
Hospital, everything. Yeah.
They had everything. They were completely 100% self-sufficient.
Self-sufficient. Yeah.
So. Yeah. And on top of all of that, they had things going on and it was working smooth. They had their own police stations. Everything was progressing.
Right.
Crime was down to a minimum.
Right.
So, and with that being said, that little spark. Now I know this story at the back of my hand because my grandfather used to tell me this story all the time. That little spark did it.
Wow.
And once that little spark happened, they burned it down to the ground. No, they bombed it down to the ground.
Yeah, bombed it, yeah.
They bombed it.
I think to correlate, that's when you said the song, The Gap Band.
You dropped the bomb
I had
on
never
me.
heard that before.
You dropped the bomb on me. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. But yeah, we can definitely form our own political party.
But even in this culture now.
Yeah, we could.
You think so?
We can still do it.
Even with the interracial this and culture bias this, you think we could?
Yeah, I know we could. Because here's the thing. We have to understand something. We have to take a page from the Haitians during the Haitian Revolution. When Mackendall went to that swamp, the first thing Mackendall said is, "We got to get rid of all the co-collaborators that's not with us. If they're not with us, they're against us."
Right.
So we got to get rid of everybody like that. Now I had the same conversation with my friend David. He said, how are we going to progress when everybody Black don't want to progress?
Correct.
And I said, here's what you do. The ones that don't want to progress, even though I'm pro-Black, if they don't want to progress, cut their asses off. And he said, but they're Black though. And I said, okay, let me give you an example. You have an apple. The apple has a bad spot on it.
Okay.
You going to eat that bad spot?
No, you cut it away.
You cut it away?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to eat it, correct?
Correct.
Exactly. It's the same deal with people.
So you think because they don't want to be pro-Black, they're bad?
No, not because they don't want to be pro-Black, because they don't want to progress.
Because they don't want to progress.
Yes, because there's always going to be some people that don't want to progress with you because they're going to be, for whatever reason, it could be jealousy. You can't take everybody with you. Everybody don't want to be saved. You got some people that still want to be on the plantation.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's kind of like that crab in a barrel syndrome.
Exactly my point. They're the same ones, because like I give you another example. When I left Tom, Oklahoma to go to school and came back after about a year, 2.5 years or whatever, just so I could go back and see what was up. So once I did that, there was a lot of people out there in my hometown that were looking at me like, what the hell you doing back here?
Why? That's your hometown.
Exactly. I grew up
here. Parents still live here. Family still live here.
My grandmother still lives up the road.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here. If you got a problem with that, then I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Well, they thought just because you went to school, you'll never be back.
No, they felt that just because I went to school, I thought that I had the mentality that I was better than they were because they stayed, which is not true. Which brings me back to my point. You can't take everybody with you, and that's the same thing I was trying to tell David. Just like that apple scenario, just like the whole apple scenario I put out there.
Right.
You don't eat the whole apple.
You cut out the bad.
You cut out the bad part. Even though it's still part of the apple, you're not going to eat that.
No.
So, and that's the same deal with people. Sometimes you got to cut people off. And I told him flat out, I'm very pro-black. I am pro-black, and I am against anybody that's detrimental to the development of black people and black culture. If that includes other black people, so be it.
Elaborate on that. What do you mean? Have you run across someone like that?
That's detrimental to the development of black people? Hell yeah.
Was it just like in conversation or with their actions?
Both. I mean, they're like, because like a lot of people like to tell people like me, they like to call us those Hotep people.
Say it again.
Hotep, H-O-T-E-P.
Hotep, okay.
Hotep. They call us Hotep people. Oh, you on the Hotep shit? No, I'm on some pro-black stuff. You can call me Hotep if you want to, but you're not insulting me. I consider that an honor. Yeah, I'm Hotep. You damn straight.
Right.
So.
Because you know where you come from.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, call me Hotep. I'm going to continue to be Hotep. And when I start progressing, which you already know, we are progressing.
Absolutely. Amen.
You'll still be back here buying loose cigarettes.
I've been saying being jealous. I remember when, bringing up your past.
Exactly, bringing up the past. I remember when you could even tie your shoe. Okay, I learned how. What are you doing? Still walking around here smoking weed.
Been knowing you all your life. Should be one of your biggest supporters.
Exactly.
But one of your biggest haters.
Exactly. Yeah. So, which brings it back to my point. You can't take everybody with you.
Yeah.
So,
and that's sad though.
And that's sad.
Because we all came, if you really think about it, we all started out on an even playing field. I mean, I know some of us was born with silver, gold, whatever spoons in our mouth, but if you think about it, majority of the black culture started on the same playing field.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's just up to you and your mentality if you want to get out there and get it for yourself.
Exactly. Exactly.
So if I did do that, why should I be penalized from my own culture?
Exactly.
For doing that.
Precisely. Yeah. That's my whole point. So that's, but like I said, to answer your question, can we have our own political party? Yes. We can have it.
Yeah.
As soon as we get the right people inside of it, we could do that with no problem. That would be a beautiful thing.
Do you think you ever see it in your lifetime?
I'm not going to say no. Because I've said the very same thing about a black president.
I know, that's what I was just going to say, yeah. And now we got a female. I mean, even though, but now we have a black woman running for VP.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean.
So maybe, you never know.
You never know, man. Yeah. You never know. But, yeah, man, it's deep. It's deep. So, we could definitely have our own political party. Would it work? Don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like Tariq Nasheed said, if you give us some land, if you gave us some land, and we flip that, we make that crap work. Just
so
give
does
to
that
us.
Go back to the reparations?
Exactly.
It does.
That goes back to reparations.
Yeah.
See, and that's another reason why that people need to be leery of the Joe Bidens and the Kamala Harrises and stuff like that, because like if there is no reparations talks on the table, you need to bypass them. Plain and simple. Need to bypass them, because that's what we need. Because ever since black people were quote unquote free during the Emancipation Proclamation, we still are in the same boat that we were in all those years ago. We own we own and control 1/2 of 1% of this nation's wealth and resources. And we are still on that same playing field. 1/2.
Well, you know
1%.
what's so funny? You bring that up, and I was reading this article when I was preparing for the show. Yes, I do my homework, people. They said that majority, I don't know why, but they said like in 1964, black people were still trying to quote unquote make the come up.
Yeah.
But now they're saying in the year the 21st century or 21st, how you say it, you know, more black people are considered middle class.
Yeah.
I don't see that. Maybe I don't know every black person in the world.
Yeah.
But I don't see that. I don't hear that. I don't read that. Some of the complaints you see on the news is where they get their data from.
Well, here's what they don't see. If you go to certain parts, let's just take Dallas for instance.
Okay.
Let's take Dallas for instance.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to certain parts of Dallas, like let's say Oak Cliff,
mm-hmm.
or Pleasant Grove, do you see middle class people?
I mean, okay, maybe I need to understand what do you consider middle class? Yeah, yeah. Because it's just not a dollar figure anymore.
No,
it can't
be.
be.
It's not. No. Nowadays it isn't. I mean, middle class constitutes house, car, good paying jobs.
And when you say good paying jobs, what is that annually?
$50K a year or more.
So if you make $50K, you consider middle class?
So, in some people's eyes, it just depends on who you ask, but it's all relative. But anyway, I'm just using that as an example. I'm just throwing it.
You're right, because I'm reading this. I have a graph here. I'm reading the same thing, verbatim what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Verbatim.
Yeah. So that's about right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they consider middle class.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, are there more middle class black people? Yeah, but here's the
Pleasant Grove.
But here's the thing. I don't want middle class.
Mm-hmm.
I want the same. I want to be a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to control my wealth. I want to have something to pass down from generation to generation.
Generational wealth. Yes.
You can't. When you're a middle class American, that means you have a job.
Mm-hmm.
That means that you could lose your job,
mm-hmm.
and a lot of us have lost our jobs.
Mm-hmm.
You at one point in time were middle class.
Mm-hmm.
So, and because of this bull crap, boom, middle class is pretty much a myth now
mm-hmm.
for a lot of folks.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, we have to understand that we have to build something for ourselves.
Correct.
So, which is why I'm doing every damn thing.
Well, they used to say, you got a $50 job. Yeah.
Exactly. So, so because I want something more, not only for me, but for us in general.
Correct. Generational growth.
That's what I want.
Wealth,
I want the generational wealth. Even though we don't have any children, but still, I still want to pass something off to somebody else. So that way they won't have to worry about.
Or you can employ other people.
Exactly.
Other black people, or of culture.
Yes, that is the whole. You hit the nail on the head.
Correct.
To employ other black people.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And as you, okay, so let me ask you this: where did that mentality come from? Were you raised like that? Or is it just like since you've been out in the world and you've had to go through the rigmarole of what it is to work in corporate America, you just want it for yourself?
A little bit of both.
And then want to be that one that reach out their hand to help the others come up as well? You're not going to be the crab.
It's a little bit of all of that.
Cool.
It's a little bit of all of that.
Very honorable, young man. Very honorable.
Yeah. You met my stepdad.
Oh, yeah.
My stepdad is Afrocentric on to be damn.
Absolutely.
So,
but that's good to have that role model, though, because a lot of young men don't.
A lot of people don't have that. Mm-mm. I mean, a lot of people don't have that. On top of that, you met my mother too.
Mm-hmm.
Very intelligent woman. And my grandfather had always told me years and years ago, if you're not going to do anything to help a black man, don't do anything to hurt that black man.
Absolutely.
And I've always had that mentality. So for me, and with me growing up the way that I did, I didn't have much growing up. So I've always been the kind of person that I am going to build something, so that way if I do have children, or if I know somebody that needs something that I have and I can pass it on to that person, I want to be able to pass it on.
Right.
So, legally, exactly.
Yes. Keyword.
Because you can't pass on a job. You can't do that.
Not if it's not your own company.
If it's not your own company, you can't pass on a job.
No, sir.
If you're working for Tinker Air Force Base in Oklahoma, you can't pass that job on to your grandchild.
You probably can help them get on because you probably know the supervisor, whatever.
Yeah, you can help them get on.
As far as no, you can't.
No, you can't pass a job on to somebody. So that's why we need some tangible things to pass on to people.
Absolutely.
Which is why the reparations thing needs to be on the table here.
Well, with the political culture that we're in, again, do you really think, will you think of Kamala will get that passed for us? Will you think of Joe Biden will get that passed for us?
Oh, hell no. Neither one of them two.
So you think this might be many, many, many more years?
Oh, yeah.
And we was promised this how many years ago?
40 Acres and a Mule.
Yeah.
That was during that was after the Civil War.
Absolutely. Many moons ago. And we still haven't seen not even a piece of it.
One bit of it.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think in this political culture we're in now, where the majority of the Congress are older white men?
Older rich white men. Don't get it twisted.
Well, true. So, do you think we will ever get those reparations?
No. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But I don't think that I am.
Yeah.
So.
And again, like I said, I don't knock anyone who want to get into politics, especially as an African American, black person, whatever.
I mean,
Hispanic, whoever, but I don't know.
I mean, I'm just gonna say this about black people and politics. I think that we should have more Afrocentricity inside black politics. We don't have enough of that. We got everybody going along to get along. No, don't do that. We've had enough of that. You see how far it's gotten us.
That's what I'm saying. How many more years will it take for us to even see 2 people, 3 people?
Yeah. I mean, we'll never see. I mean, my whole point is we'll never see somebody that has the same mentality of Malcolm X.
No, that's what I'm saying. No.
Or Stokely Carmichael.
Well, when they're running, they get up on the stage and be like, and I promise you, and we will, and we can. And then when they get in there, it's something different.
Nothing happens.
They just conform with the masses.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why I want people, I guess we'll do this when election time gets a little bit closer. I want people to listen to Malcolm X's speech, the ballot or the bullet.
Absolutely.
I mean, he talks about the very same thing. He talks about the very same thing. That very same thing you just talked about, he talks about it in that speech. And Malcolm said this in 1964. Here it is, 2020.
I said many, many years ago.
Exactly. Here it is, 2020.
We still talk the same thing. Haven't seen not an ounce of it, let alone a piece. Yeah. And we won't, because like I said, because a lot of politicians like to use the black vote as a tool. Because wherever we pull our votes into, that's who gets denied. Yeah. And I've been noticing that a lot of the candidates go out to try to go visit the black churches.
Exactly, because they know the black votes.
Yeah, or they go to the black women, because they do say the black woman is the one to get the main candidate elected. Yeah. And I do know they do cater more.
Yes, they do.
To that, but once you do cater to those different demographics, why is it when you get elected, you get the office, you don't really do nothing? It's like the ball just drops.
No, they don't drop. They just forget about it.
So are you telling me that you're just saying what you think we want to hear to get you elected?
That's exactly it.
So again, how much further in black politics do we need to go? Exactly. Who can we trust?
We can't. Well, see, that's just it. That's why we got to screen our candidates even more. I mean, especially at the national level. Yes. Now, at the local level, we have
still need to do it that way too.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. Yeah. I agree with you on that. So, I mean, that's why we need to. If we really can't do too much on the national level, go for the local level. Yeah. Get those politicians, man, and
hold them accountable.
Hold them accountable for everything. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Hold your politicians, hold those elected officials accountable for everything that they do. I mean, if they don't do what you want them to do, don't re-elect their asses anymore. Right. Or try to get them kicked out. Right. Because I can tell you right now, if the Asian community gets somebody elected, they gonna do what the hell they say.
Oh, 100%.
Same deal with the Hispanic community.
100%.
Same deal with the gay community.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. Definitely. You better do what they say.
Definitely. Yes, and they are like #1 supporters.
Precisely. So that's what you have to do. they hold their politicians accountable, which is what we have to do, and that's the one thing that we've never done as a people. We as a people, so that we have a lot of political power, whether we believe that or not.
You think so?
I know so, because like I said, whatever elected official, whatever elections goes on, either at the local level or national level, the first thing they start doing is catering to black people, trying to get those black votes. Once they get those, because they know that once they get those black votes, they know that once they get the black vote, they're in there.
Okay, so once they do get in there, what can we as a black culture hold them accountable that we continue to get those promises that you made?
Bug the shit out of them. Plain and simple. You write letters to them. You call their office. You bug them. Blow up their phone. If you get their personal number, blow their phone up. Protest outside their house. Do what you have to do to get them to handle your agenda, because that's what you're supposed to do.
That's what you
They work
promised
for
us.
you.
Yeah.
We don't work for them. They work for us.
Yeah.
That's the one thing people have to understand. They work for us.
So they get their salary from us.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
Precisely.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, so we're pretty much paying them to do what for our culture that you promised us.
Yeah, you're supposed to. Yeah, you promised us all
Just
this
dance
stuff.
around.
Man.
Oh, we gonna take care of that. It's on the list or
It's on. No. What are you doing now?
Yes.
Damn all that.
Yeah.
No, I won't hear nothing about no list. What are you doing now?
Right.
Tell me something now. Something I can go back and say, okay, this is getting ready to happen. That's what you need to do. So, and that's that.
Well, like I said, I first and foremost, Mimi the lady, enjoy being a black woman. I never was the one that ever thought about getting into politics.
Right.
But when I do see a candidate that's running, I don't knock it, because I'm very proud that we do have a black culture of people that want to be in politics.
Right.
But you still got to do your research, though, because some of them are here for the greater good.
And some of them
and
aren't.
some of them just want to sit in office position. They just
Pretty
want to
much.
be in that position.
You said a mouthful right there. You said a mouthful right there, because you got so many elected officials out there that have been elected officials for so long. What are they doing?
I know several in my head dance. I know we probably can't say it. I don't want to get sued or knocked off the air, but there are several in my head that I know have been in Congress or been like on the local level here forever, and you really don't know nothing that they've mandated for black people,
Right.
or for the black culture, ethnic culture, however you want to look at it.
Right.
I don't see anything.
And you won't, because like I said,
they get
reelected every single time,
year.
and they get the majority of the black vote. Well, see, that goes along the lines of what we were talking about a while back. We were talking about how. Well, actually, we were just talking about this not too long ago. We were talking about how we need to screen our people to make sure they're going to have our best interests at heart. Number one, and number two, our vote should be okay. If we give you our vote, what you going to do for us in return? Come on, quote pro quo, something for something. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. That's the way it's supposed to be. Like I said, and Dr. Claude Anderson, another good brother, he has always said that we need to hold our vote for hostage. For lack of a better term. If you don't do anything for us, you ain't getting our vote. So what you gonna do? And don't just say you're gonna do this, and don't say we're gonna look into it. No, what are you going to do?
But of course they're gonna make you those empty promises to get your vote.
No, damn that. What are you going to do for us? We want this in writing. What you gonna do for us?
So they need to start making laws before we vote for them?
Not necessarily, but just let people know. Hey, if this is what you said you was gonna do,
right? Hold them accountable again.
Hold them accountable. Okay. This is what you said you was gonna do. Go ahead and do it, and don't say no. I'll get around to it. Do this shit now.
But when they do that, they be like, well, my hands are tied.
No, you're not.
We had to take it to the Senate for them to vote on.
Damn that.
And they voted me down. They always have an excuse.
Oh yeah, they always have some bullshit excuse. I already know that.
Yeah.
I already know that. They always have those. I call them canned excuses, because they use the same excuses all over again.
Canned excuses.
That's exactly what they are. They're canned. They open a can like a can of soda. Pop. Pop that top, man. There you go.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just so, like, again, I said, I love to see when especially like a hard worker, you seen them get in from the ground up, make their way through the different avenues of the political reign. But when they do take that almighty Congress seat, no kind of bills are written, no kind of bills are passed, no kind of laws are initiated. well, why do you even got this seat? What are you in that seat for? But then when it comes back time to get your seat reelected for, you go out there on the trail hitting it hard, and then we're like, okay, we're gonna give you another chance. You know, I know your hands were tired, we're gonna give you another chance. You get reelected and you go right back to that seat, sit there and be playing poker on your laptop or playing bingo on your handheld devices, you know. And here we are thinking you're trying to get us some laws passed or some justice for the black culture, but you're not really initiating or instituting anything. Mm-hmm. So what do we do? I mean, I know you keep saying hold them accountable, but we do get behind them, we back them, we help them get elected. Yeah. But then when they are in that seat, they do nothing. Or when they're in that office, like local here, they're in the mayor office or the secretary of state, so whatever, they don't do anything. Mm-hmm. So what do we do? I don't know. Like I said, black culture is a beautiful thing, but in my opinion, I think we have a long way to go.
Yeah, we have a long way. We have a long, hard road ahead of us. Mm-hmm. We've always had it.
And I wish there's just something different that we can do, but I can't think anything except but to wait for that candidate, make themselves, presentable. We do our research and see if their values coincide with your values. Right. Get behind them, get them elected, and just pray that what they're telling you is honest truth. And they are looking out for you in the office. Yeah. Right. But until then, I don't know what else we can do. Or do we need to do something different? But if we do, what can we do different?
Well, there's quite a bit that we can do as a people. Mm-hmm. But like I said, the very first thing that we need to do is, like I said before, hold those elected officials accountable.
Of course, but then what?
That's the main thing. Yeah. One step at a time. We'll figure that out as we go along. Mm-hmm. So that's the main thing we need to do is hold those elected officials accountable. Mm-hmm. Because, like I said, they work for us. We don't work for them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's the one thing we have to look at. We're their supervisor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But can you really, once you elect somebody in office, can you be like, you know what? We done gave you a year. You're not doing that. You haven't wrote no new bills. You haven't changed no laws. We need to get somebody else in your seat. Mm-hmm. Can you really do that?
That's a good question. I'm not really much of a political student, but I'm sure there's something that can be done.
Because I've heard, I've talked to several people, and a lot of people had that opinion about, even though he done did his term, whatever, we can still speak on him. A lot of people feel like that about Obama. Mm-hmm. We gave Obama 8 years.
Nothing.
He did some things, you know.
But
then they said that he didn't do nothing for the black culture, though.
Exactly. He did nothing because he did everything for everybody else. Illegal immigrants got laws on the books for them. Mm-hmm. Gays got plenty of laws on the books for them.
Oh yeah.
Which and I have reservations
some
about that.
Some senior citizens did too, but here come Mr. Trump trying to take those same laws that Obama said for seniors. He trying to take them away with the post office thing. Oh man, that's crazy right there. But I know that's another topic, but.
Yeah, that goes along the lines of Donald Trump. Like I said, we're going to do a whole show about him.
But then again, it's so with Obama, he made us all those promises. Yes, I can. Yes, we can. And we was all excited to see a black man running. Yep. But 8 years, really, what did we as a black culture gain? People, what did we gain?
After 8 years of Obama, black people in the same position we were in before he got elected, owning and controlling 1/2 or 1% of this nation's resources and wealth. Plain and simple. Mm-hmm. So that was a waste of time, which is why a lot of black people aren't falling for the okie doke anymore. Mm-hmm. We want to hold our politicians accountable.
Yeah.
So
I understand that.
We tell people all the time that's I've been saying that ever since day one. We got to hold them accountable. Once we hold them accountable, man, they can't go anyplace else.
Yeah. So. Well, let me ask you this: since you're really into the black culture, you're really unapologetically black, which I love. Mm-hmm. How do they handle politics over in Africa?
Oh.
Is it anything like what's here? I'm sure it's not.
Well, no, it's way different. Yeah. A lot of people, man, you're not going to do what we say? Okay, your ass is out of here.
So they do get right in there and take care of it. Why can't we do that here?
They'll either do a coup or they'll kill the person that's in office.
Well, now, I don't want nobody to die now. That's what they would do. I just want them to pass some good laws.
That's what they would do. That's what they would do.
So again, why can't we do that? Not the killing part, but why can't we do a coup here or whatever? To be like, okay, we gave you a year, nothing,
You did
has
nothing.
come out your office.
Nothing. Not for us.
You
anyway.
gotta go.
Yeah, nothing
Why
for
can't
us.
we do that here?
Well, the thing of it is, it's not that we can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that a lot of us don't have the
We
balls.
can give
to
them
do
chance after chance after chance.
Precisely, we're gonna give them. You know, it's kind of like we in a bad relationship, and the man keeps cheating on you, and you keep on getting him chance after chance after chance to keep on doing it. Don't listen to her. I'm not cheating on her, y'all.
I'm not saying no. He never. Y'all better pray he don't. But yeah, I mean, you're right. It's just like that. Why keep giving him chance after chance? Cause he gonna tell you what you want to hear.
That's exactly what he
What
does.
you call it? Sweet talk me in my ear.
Oh yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna love you like I love you. You know, all that stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But then again, I let you back in and you turn right back around and
do the
dance
same
and do
old
the
thing.
same thing on me.
Yeah.
You gotta be something different. So when are we gonna have that Tina Turner mentality
Just
and
say,
smooth walk
just say,
away?
go on about your business.
I take my name.
I take
Cause
my
I
name.
work
It's all
for
gonna
it,
work
but I'm
for it.
just
That's
gonna
mine.
walk away.
Yeah.
Why
yeah.
can't we do that with politics?
It's not that we can't. It's not that we can't. It's just that.
Oh,
Let me just say this.
when we? That's a good. When will we do
Well,
that?
let me just say this. Now, black people as a whole have been historically voting Democrat ever since the late 40s, early 50s.
Yes, I just read that. Yeah, I was looking for that earlier. That's when. Yeah.
Okay. And the Democratic Party has done absolutely nothing for black people. So
do you think black people should have stayed Republican?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Okay.
Because the Republicans now, especially now, they damn sure gonna do nothing
Not
for
the
black
way they
people.
think now. No.
Not right now, because those guys right now, they could give less than a damn about what's going on.
And I hate to say this, but these are our thoughts. I don't see how a black person can be a Republican. And they say it's about money,
Well,
but I don't know.
well, I know some black Republicans. I know quite a few, and most of the black Republicans that I know, most of them, they have good jobs.
No,
quote
says it
unquote.
can't be about that though, babe. It can't be
I know.
about.
I'm getting to that. Most of them have good jobs. Most of them have the whole mentality that black people need to stop making excuses and
Pull themselves out
pull themselves up by their bootstraps. And I told them flat out, and I told several of them flat out, listen, it's kind of difficult to pull up your bootstraps when you don't have any boosters strap up. So
I'm gonna pull up my boots. You done gave me some flip flops.
exactly,
I mean,
we can't pull ourselves up by our bootstraps if we don't have any boosters strap up.
Right.
So that's easier said than done. Well, I got out. Okay, yeah, okay, that's good for you. I got out too, but I'm still struggling. So what's your point? You're not making any sense. But black Republicans, to me, that makes about as much sense as Jews for Jesus.
Elaborate.
The Jews ordered Jesus' death.
Okay.
So that makes about as much sense as Jews for Jesus. That's why I say that. Because, if you know somebody that practices Judaism, they don't follow the teaching of Jesus Christ.
No.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean by that when I say Jews for Jesus. It's kind of
So
like play on words.
Republicans, how does that correlate?
A black Republican to me, I'm not knocking anybody that follows any political party.
No,
I'm not
not
knocking
at
that
all.
at all.
No.
If you're a black
But
Republican,
I have questions though.
if you're a black Republican, more power to you.
True.
I don't
Absolutely.
care. More power to you.
Your affiliation is your affiliation.
Your political affiliations is just that, your political
Yes,
affiliations.
absolutely.
I could care less. I mean, I'm not going to lose any sleep either way.
But I would like to pick your brain on why you chose that party. Though.
And I would definitely like to, and I have, like I said, I know plenty of black Republicans. So, and I don't really, and they hang on Trump's every word, just like the white ones do.
Wow.
Just like the white ones. They hang on Trump's every single word.
Wow.
So, with that being said, most black Republicans that I know are, I'll give you a prime example. Charles Barkley's a black Republican. And you know how big of a coon he is.
That's why I didn't say. That's why I went dead silent.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah. Most black Republicans are coons. Most of them. I mean, it's rare that you see a black Republican that's on a pro-black tip. Very rare.
Because I often say you don't think no Democrat has ever pulled themselves up by their bootstraps.
Yeah, they have.
So that's a weird correlation for a black Republican to say that. Because we all have.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to say some of us have.
Yeah.
But we're not going to be out there talking about, well, I made it, you should make it. No.
Well, that's how they feel about the situation. I'll give you another prime example. There's a known conservative, black conservative, named Jesse B. Peterson. Mm-hmm. As far as he's concerned, racism doesn't exist.
So what's this we've been experiencing? What is this called?
You gotta ask Jesse.
Okay, see, that's why I said when people say stuff like that, or if they associate themselves with different things, I want to pick their brain. Yeah. I just want them to just tell me why.
Yeah.
So what have we been living for the last 400 plus years?
Yeah. If this ain't racism, I don't know what is. This country was founded on the principles of racism, so you can't tell me different. But I digress.
That's kind of like that thought that the unknown rapper said it was a choice. Right? Is that same line? Is that what he's trying to say?
Pretty much. I mean, you
so
know.
I choose to get railroad tracks on the back of my back.
Yeah.
Or get my foot cut off because I'm trying to run away to something better.
Yeah, I chose that. Yeah, I chose to have my wife raped and then this half white child pop out and I gotta take care of.
Yeah. You know, sweet children, go on out there, Agatha.
Yeah,
exactly. Go sleep with master.
Exactly.
And I'm supposed to look at you the same after that.
Exactly.
So I chose that.
Yeah, it was a choice, but you know.
See, I want to pick people's brains when they say something. Like, were you raised with that mentality? Did you do your research and you found out something we don't know?
But here's the funny part. Here's the funny part.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them were. Believe it or
with
not.
that type of mentality?
A lot of them were.
So when you do your family DNA, you don't think none of your family was slaves? And if they were, they chose to be a slave?
Pretty much.
I don't think nobody chose to be a slave.
Hey, man. Hey, I'm just telling you what they were told.
I know there are some people that are slaves now. I don't think we chose. We don't choose to be a slave.
Yeah, mentally slaves. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm talking about, we are mental beyond capacity. And I don't think we're choosing to be that.
Yeah, mental slavery. Yeah, that's about it. But yeah, that's how a lot of them think. It's unfortunate, but that's how a lot of them think.
And again, how do we rectify situations like that? How do we rectify conversations like that? How do we get people to look on board and be like, you know what?
You really can't. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm just gonna be 100% transparent about that particular question. Mm-hmm. You really can't tell somebody. You can give them all the facts in the world. It's like this. If I tell you that behind door number 1, there's $1 million cash in there. If you don't go through that door, that's on you. You see what I'm saying? It's the same deal with trying to educate the people that have that kind of mentality. I can show them the door. It's up to them to open it.
But then with me, I know how I am. I'd be like, so what's behind 2 and 3 though? You're not gonna tell me what's behind 2 and 3? So I can have a choice?
Right.
Then you don't choose to just believe everything somebody tell you.
Oh, no. You never do that.
You know? So it's
never
like...
do that. You never do that.
No.
I mean, I've always been the kind of person. You know, my mother told me a long damn time ago, you got a brain, use it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So I mean, you know, I'm not going to let somebody piss on my head and tell me it's rain. It's not going to happen. So
who would you? So somebody say, hey Reggie, walk through door number 1. There's $1 million. You're gonna do just that. You're gonna beeline to door 1.
Nope. I'm gonna look at it and say, okay, what else is behind that door?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You tell me it's $1 million behind that door. Okay, it's $1 million behind that door, but what else is behind that door? Because nobody's just gonna have just $1 million sitting behind the door.
That's what I'm saying. I know.
Something's
you
up.
said these people are talking. I'm thinking, even if you are taught this as a child, when you become of the age of where you can read and articulate literacy for yourself, you need to do that.
I agree. It's all about research. It's all about research. That's why I always come up with the books that every black person should read at least once in their lifetime. And the reason why I came up with that list is because of this. I was having this conversation with someone, and we were talking about. I forgot what we were talking about, and the thing about religion came up. And so,
heavy subject.
Yeah, a very heavy subject. And he said, I don't read anything but the Bible. I said, that's the only book you read. You don't read nothing else. He said, yeah. Why not? The Bible has all the answers. And I said, I'll tell you what you do. Go in the Bible and tell me what the capital of Montana is right now. Oh, no. You know what I'm talking about. No. You said the Bible has all the answers. Give me that answer right there.
Yeah.
And so I told him, you're very close-minded. Don't ever think that that the Bible has a lot of good stuff in it. True enough, I'm not saying that.
Related.
But the Bible doesn't have all
not
of the answers.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Some things you got to look for yourself.
Right.
I mean, it says right there in the very Bible that you read and hold near and dear to your heart, God helps them who helps themselves.
Absolutely.
If you don't help yourself, then you're SOL for the most part. You got to help yourself.
You have to.
So, I mean,
you just can't sit out here, not in this culture, not back then either.
Right.
You just can't sit there and wait for a handout.
Exactly.
You
That's
just
exactly.
you just like that little hamster in the wheel.
Yeah, precisely.
Just running, going nowhere.
And that's what I was getting at when I told him that. I said, you have to read more, man. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if he took my advice or anything like that, but
by you saying that to him, did he get offended? You think? Did he do like a gesture, like what? Like, or was he like accepting of it?
He kind of had this blank stare. Mm-hmm. I could tell he was thinking about what I was saying. Mm-hmm. But
at least he was thinking. That's all that counts.
Yeah, exactly. He was thinking about it. But it's like I tell people all the time. I mean, it's okay to read the Bible. Mm-hmm. Like I said, some good stuff in the Bible.
Absolutely.
But on the other side of that coin, you have to read other things. Mm-hmm. That's how you get educated on certain things. Because you can't go to college and go to a calculus class and just pull out the Bible. Mm-hmm. You're not going to find any answers in there.
I go to a biology class. Well, Jesus walked on water.
Yep. Jesus walked on water.
That's biology. That's water.
We're not talking about
not
that.
The same thing.
Exactly. So that's the reason why I came up with that with the books that every black person should read at least once in a lifetime.
And I think that's a very good segment that you do.
Yeah. So and on top of that, just like today, once we're talking about black politics, that book Black Power by Stokely Carmichael. Or Kwame Ture. I think it's written under Kwame Ture. But anyway, either way, it's Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture, same person. Mm-hmm. He
just when he
right, he changed his name.
Yeah.
Right. So once the books that I suggest always coincide with the subject. Mm-hmm. So, which is why the next subject is going to be financial literacy. And I got there's like 2 or 3 books I want to take on that. So yeah, that's going to be a good one too. That's going to be a monster of a show.
So let me ask you this as well. Like I said, since you're unapologetically black, what do you think? I know I keep going back to it. What do you think Africa think of us as Americans, as far as our political connection and our inundated a means to have someone like Agent Orange in office compared to how they do? They think we should all just move back home,
There are. I'm glad you asked that. There are several Africans, several that would love for the American Foundation of Black Americans to, as they say, come back home. They would love to see that.
But what percentage? Just a guess. It's just your thoughts. What percentage do you think would go back home?
Honestly, less than 5. I'm just being honest with you because the first thing they're going to say,
I know you would. That's no question.
I would go back just so I could get dual citizenship. I can go back and forth. I would love to go back just for at least for a year or 2.
Oh, will you and stay?
I would stay. Definitely, I would stay. I'm not gonna say that I would.
5%. Really?
I would say less. I mean, that's just an educated guess. I mean, that's giving people the benefit of the doubt because the first thing they're gonna start saying is, "I ain't never nothing in Africa."
Well, we have a friend, no names mentioned. We do have a friend. Ain't nothing over there for me.
Exactly.
I ain't going back over there.
Exactly. So, and I think that's
have
sad.
never been. So
right.
How you gonna say you ain't go? You never been. You don't know what you could accomplish over there.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
I think I would.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, just for the research of where I came from, just for that factor of it.
Yeah.
And then just to see, will I be... Because I know there are a lot of Africans come to our country but they come for education. Once they get that education, they go right back home.
Yep.
So I probably do the same thing. So I think I'll go there just for the educational factor, the benefits of the living situation. I think I will stay for a while.
Well,
I really do.
Well, Richard Pryor, one of my favorite comics, you know, my personal opinion, the king of comedy. He said when he went to Africa, he made a joke about it. He said somebody lied to him. He said he went all over Africa, not one goddamn prior.
No way.
Not one goddamn prior.
Right. Well, his name was given to him by his.
So yeah, that I mean, and that's what he was getting at. He was making a joke about it, but that's what he was getting at. But for me, yes, I would love to go back. But like I said, it's a lot of folks out there that wouldn't go back. For the simple fact
what do you think? Wouldn't that be a beautiful thing, though?
Well, you already know we had planned on going to Africa anyway before this COVID-19 crap
hit.
hit.
Definitely. I was so excited.
Heck yeah, man. We was going to get passports and everything, y'all. And that COVID hit and that derailed everything that we had planned.
A lot of plans we had.
Man, but we're still going to go, though. We're still going to go. Once after this COVID crap passes over, which we hope passes over soon. Hopefully before the end of this damn year, because it's screwing up everything.
Rona need to go. She need to check out the hotel now. She done been to this hotel
She done overstayed her welcome.
I go pack it up now, Rona.
Yeah, she done overstayed her damn welcome. But yeah, I would go back. I would definitely go back. And there's
because I know their political culture is totally different from us, of course.
Yeah. A lot of them
but
still
it's
have.
Not this.
They don't have the political system that we have. We live in a Senate. Well, I guess you can call it a Senate. You know, kind of like that. But our political landscape is a little bit different from theirs.
Yeah. But I don't think it's so demeaning, because in a way, our culture, our Senate and our Congress is a little demeaning.
Oh, no,
it's a little demeaning.
Oh, no doubt about it. I agree with you.
I mean, and I don't think they would be, because like I said, I know, because like I used to have a president of my company. And I used to feel so bad. I know we're going off subject right here, but he went to Africa like he was going next door.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I ain't never been, you know.
Yeah.
And that was one of his bucket lists.
Yeah.
That he wanted to get his education here in the United States, retire in Africa.
I ain't mad at him.
When I say a full-fledged white, he was the one that hunts and all that.
Oh man.
Yeah, he was one of those. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But he wanted to retire in Africa.
I ain't mad at him.
And I used to pick his brain. He always used to tell me, you gotta go. He said, if you can't go, he said, you just gotta go at least once in your lifetime.
Yeah. So,
and that made me feel bad that I was getting there from, someone outside my race. Because you don't really hear some of us talk about, but you don't hear a lot of us talking about going back to Africa.
Well, see,
getting that culture,
and that's like another thing that's another show too. I want to talk about black people and traveling because as a people we need to travel more.
That's what I was saying when you and I first met. Right, that's exactly. What I wanted to do. Yeah. So, and I don't mean traveling just to Atlanta.
I ain't talking about going to Atlanta. I ain't talking about going to Miami. I'm talking about traveling outside of the country, traveling because we need to travel abroad. I think that more black people should do that, and actually more and more black people are starting to travel.
They really are. I met this lady. I was in some store and she had on a travel shirt.
Yeah.
And she was a travel agent. She said she's been to. She said she can't think of a country that she has not been to.
Yeah.
And I was impressed. I think I got her number somewhere. But yeah, we need to start. What they say, booking some flights.
No doubt about
booking
it.
Some flights.
I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one. So.
But I was just wondering, like I said, I know we're not supposed to compare because I know everything is run totally different. But I was just wondering, how is the black political game in Africa compared to not even Africa? How is the black political game like in England or any other like different countries where a majority of black people reside? You just don't ever hear them talk about it, how it is here.
Well, it's like I said, see, over there in England, their political landscape, they're ruled by a queen. They have what's called a constitutional monarchy.
Correct.
So they don't really have the same political system as we have.
Right. I know everything is different, but do you think they get half the strife from her that we get from her? No, she's not her. From our Agent Orange?
That is a good question because, Agent Orange even disrespected the queen.
Yeah. That's when I knew something was wrong with that man. As long as that one be on this earth, and I never heard of no one ever saying anything like he said about her.
Yeah.
Like, this man is crazy.
He lost his ever-loving mind. Yeah. That's what you thought, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
They said she just looked like, like it didn't faze her at all.
that's because she makes more money in one day than he makes in his whole life.
Yeah.
So there's that.
But I did hear also that a lot of the black congressmen that sits in Congress now, they try to just get a meeting with Agent Orange, and he's always busy. So if you have a president like that if they are trying to go and get some laws passed on behalf of the black culture, and the one that's supposed to sign the law into existence won't even take your meeting, how is that possible?
Man, like I said, he's nothing more than he's a bully, basically. That's pretty much what he is. He's a big old orange bully.
So I brought this up to say this. So when you say we need to start holding them accountable, they have the document. They wrote the bill in their hand, but when they try to go and discuss to try to get it passed, they got their roadblocks. So how is that accountability? It's not really.
Well, if there's a roadblock, you're going to do so much. But that's different. What we were talking about earlier was when we get those people elected and they do absolutely nothing. Mm-hmm. That's what we're talking about. Now the ones that try and they get roadblocked, that's a little bit different. Yeah. They're doing their job.
But they don't say how can we get them past that though? How can we get them over the hump?
We can't.
That's what I want to know. How can we though?
We can't.
We can't.
No, we can't. As a people, we can't. Once they hit their roadblock. Once we as a people hold those politicians accountable, we've done our job.
Right.
It's up to them to do theirs. They hit the roadblock. Okay, you can't go any further. Okay, you got to figure out what you got to do now to get over this roadblock. That's their job. So we can't do anything about that.
I know it's hard.
It's kind of like when you take your car in for a mechanic. And the mechanic says, okay, I need to order this part. That part takes 2 weeks to come in. Nothing you can do about it except wait.
Yeah.
That's it. That's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Yeah. But it's like no roadblock though. When this person if you done presented this same bill over and over, you tried this avenue block, you went down this street roadblock, you got
to keep going.
You got
to keep trying. I mean, because like their job as a politician is to get that passed through. That's what they have to do as a politician. So.
But I'm just gonna say this. But when you have a racist in office,
oh my God, it's gonna be next to impossible.
How is it gonna pass?
It's not gonna pass because he's gonna make sure it doesn't.
And I think that's probably now that I think about it, I've been sitting up here soul searching because I had said some things earlier that it's like, how do we hold them accountable? How do we hold them accountable when they are doing their job and they can't get over it? Is that why we keep it? We like, well, you tried, so let's go ahead and elect you again.
That's different.
Maybe you can get it this time.
That's different. That right there is different.
Yeah.
The ones that we're talking about are the ones that ain't doing jack shit.
Well, there are several.
There's a bunch of them that ain't doing nothing. They're taking up space and getting a check.
So I can see we are keeping some of those. Like I said, how they keep getting reelected in office? Maybe they are the ones that are trying.
Yeah.
But they keep running down that roadblock.
Precisely. I mean, they hit those roadblocks. Nothing we can do about that.
Yeah.
But
cause like I know you have your thoughts on John Roberts, the guy who just passed away. I forgot. I'm having a brain freeze. But I know he kept trying.
Well, he would try, but the thing about him is that some of the things that he wanted to get passed, because he was more or less along the lines of the illegal immigrants too. He passed a lot of stuff for illegal immigrants too. Look at John Lewis's record.
John Lewis, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, thank you.
You got to look at John Lewis's record. A lot of the things that he passed didn't have anything to do with black people.
Well,
so,
really?
I mean, really, think about it. I mean, just look at his record. I'm
Well,
not knocking him.
I'm
not knocking him.
Yeah.
But you just gotta look at the John Lewis's record. That's why I have so many reservations about John Lewis, because John Lewis, even though he was in Congress for since I was a little boy.
Yeah.
So he didn't really do too much of anything for black people. I mean, the 1993 Biden crime bill, he backed it.
Yeah. When I read that, I was kind of like how I am about how Kamala put so many black men in incarceration.
Exactly.
They did some good things, and then they do things like, oh my God, it's kind of again, just do your research and
like I said, just do your research. And to wrap this up, people, we got your probably your next president and vice president on the screen right there.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So, It is what it is.
That's gonna be the ticket. That's the winning ticket. You think?
That's the Democratic ticket right there, people. That's the Democratic ticket. I mean, me personally, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I would never tell anybody not to vote.
Right.
But me personally, I might set this election out. I haven't seen anybody that I really like.
No, now I think we had this conversation before. By you not electing, your vote might be in that one vote that would have won.
Yeah, probably so. But ain't nobody out there I want to see, man.
Okay, so what if there be a conservative to come through, and you can relate to some of their ideologies or whatever?
No. If it ain't about reparations and tangibles to black people, you ain't getting my vote. My vote's for sale.
Nah.
My vote is for sale. If you ain't talking about tangibles, reparations, or anything like that, hey, you might as well hang it up. But then put them up there one more time, because these folks right here, they pop up on the big screen. But yeah, they'll pop up there in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, them folks right there, I don't know.
Well, you don't even think, I know we're not so talking political like this, because I don't want nobody to think we're swaying their vote or whatever.
Nah.
But you don't think they're a little bit better than Agent Orange?
I'm not going to say yes or no, but the thing of it is, man, I know that Jim Crow Joe passed a whole bunch of laws. Passed a whole bunch of laws that were very detrimental to black people.
And so did she.
So, we already know Agent Orange did, because, we already know how he feels about black people. And she has too. And she done backed up a whole bunch of shit that they had passed that were detrimental to black people. So, there's that. So, but anyway.
Again, like we've been preaching since the inception of this podcast, do your research.
Do your research, people.
Do your research.
Please, by all means, do your research, man. Don't leave any stone unturned. Do your research. Do your due diligence. I mean, don't do like I do and not vote. I mean, I'm not telling anybody to do that.
People, no,
don't do that. I would never tell anybody not to vote. I get in trouble for that. I ain't that dumb.
Yes.
So, by all means, do your research, people. And I guess that's it, man. On that note, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap this here show up. It was a good one, though.
Absolutely.
It was a good one.
Absolutely. So, good current events.
Oh, yeah. Good real current events.
Yeah,
we did the thing, man.
And so next week it's going to be on financial literacy.
Yeah, next week it's going to be on financial literacy in the black community. It's going to be a good one because... just to do a little bit of a preamp for the show, for the most part, black people have been more consumers than anything else.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm a big candidate of that.
A lot of people are, man. That's why they got so many black people out here literally killing each other over shoes. So
yeah,
I mean,
cars, jewelry, hair.
What I call
that
all
lady
that
who
stuff.
has a downtown. She has a salon.
Yeah,
and she had a truck bringing in her supply.
Oh yeah,
and she got robbed and killed. And they took all her hair.
Took all of it.
Took all her hair.
See, there you go, man. See, but yeah, we're gonna talk about that. That's gonna be a good deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely gonna do that. And I got a few books. I got a couple books I wanna put out on that.
Nice.
Definitely. It's gonna be some good stuff. But financial literacy in the black community. That's gonna be another good monster subject, y'all. But on that note, we're gonna go ahead and get off of here because we got stuff to do.
Alrighty.
So anyway, we're out of here, y'all. I am Reggie O.
And I'm Mimi the Lady.
And we'll see y'all next week.
Bye.